Excellent. Hi. Hey there, Ed.
Hi, so good to
Anna.
see you.
Miss Anna Toy. Oh,
hmm
man. I've been waiting for this. This is awesome.
You
So,
and me, we already, what? That's our third or fourth
is this
time?
the third one? I know last time you interviewed me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I had the wonderful opportunity to be interviewed by you, and you asked some great probing questions, deep questions. Yes. And how are you today? How are you doing with the current events? You seem very at peace.
Uh, what can I tell you? We gotta adjust to whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is. Otherwise, we can't make it. So,
Mm-hmm.
of course,
Mm-hmm.
with everything, like I mean, everything, and every day is something new and it's terrible and sad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. So
sometimes
every
it's
mm-hmm. Sometimes
sometimes
as well.
it's scary to think in what world we're living, like
Mm-hmm.
around what kind of people too.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you said you've been able to adjust. You know, that's very important that you're able to adapt and adjust to any situation that may come your way and not allow it to deter you, you know?
yeah, yeah, I did.
Hmm.
It was, I don't know, I didn't find it too hard to adjust.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
I'm the type of person that if this is it, I have to adjust.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't feel good. So what's the point of not
Yeah.
feeling good?
Hmm.
It's better to adjust and
Hmm.
take it what it is.
Yeah. Anna, are there any techniques that you use to adjust or to get through hard times of your own, like perhaps your inner size techniques?
Yes, the I do inner size, breathing, and just being in a moment. Like you breathe, you kind of clear your mind, and then you just being in a moment. Like
Yeah.
you don't think about anything, you just enjoy the moment. Maybe you feel how the chair feels under you, like how
Hmm.
your hand feel, like
Hmm.
you just feel that.
Yeah.
A lot of
Hmm.
times we don't think about those things, but it's very important
Hmm. So
to,
being in the moment, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. You know, coming back to our senses, just being able to breathe and just, take our mind away from the past or on the future and just be in the now. Yeah,
Yes,
it's good.
just feel yourself, feel your body, feel your hair, feel
Hmm.
your skin.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Was there ever a time, Anna, that you had a hard time doing that? Because I talk to a lot of people who say that I can't meditate. I don't know how to do breath work. I don't know how to do this and do that. And it's ironic because, we breathe every day. We do a lot of these things all the time unconsciously, at the subconscious level. But in your journey, how were you able to adapt to that? And how were you able to build to the point where you could do it quite easily?
Yes, there was many times, let's say, till I adjust to that point,
Hmm.
till I come to that conclusion that I shouldn't, really suffer. Because before, like, there was a lot of things that was stressing me out, and
Hmm.
sometimes I just bury myself in the bed and crying and just not talking to anyone, and the thought is racing like in my head on and on and on, and this is was killing me,
Hmm.
like destroying my whole body.
Hmm.
Nothing was enjoy, couldn't enjoy anything, didn't
Hmm.
want to do anything.
Hmm.
And then after many times I just decide that, you know what, it's not freaking worth it.
Hmm.
Because sooner or later I'm getting out of this moment, out of this bad feeling. But why do I waste this 3 4 days? Because anyway I will get back to normal.
Right. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I just kind of, it took time to teach myself to do that. but you kind of like stop yourself. Hey,
Hmm.
you talk to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's more important?
Hmm.
You know, you don't like how you feel. You don't like this feeling. Why you making yourself feel like that?
Mm.
Just,
Mm. Okay. So you accepted responsibility. You were accountable for making yourself okay. And that's a really great point that you make there as well, about how you realize that the time would pass by anyway. We go through phases, we go through ebbs and flows and waves. And Risen said in the comment section that concentration can be difficult with so much noise, EMF, and the monkey mind. Would you like to talk about the monkey mind and how that's affected you?
okay, let's talk about the monkey mind. Monkey mind, okay, tell me a little bit about the monkey mind. What do you mean by saying monkey
Hmm.
mind?
I guess, when people think of the monkey mind, I see a picture of a monkey in my head clanging cymbals together, kind of making noise, being very rambunctious, taking us here and taking us there. And it's like one person said that I don't meditate to control my mind, I meditate so that my mind does not control me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost as if you're able to quiet that monkey mind, you're able to give the monkey something to do so that it doesn't distract you from what you need to do or what you get to do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know this monkey mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. So
And
so you said, go ahead.
no, you
So
complete
you
what do you
said
want?
at there came a time when you accepted the responsibility for your feelings. You weren't blaming outside or external circumstances. You were saying, "Why am I making myself feel like this?"
Yeah, yeah, because that was me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
nothing else and nobody else, because I allowed those feelings to take over me. So it's only my fault, and this is my choice what to do to feel like that or not.
Hmm.
So I just decide that I'm not gonna feel like that because I
Yeah.
don't like it. Why do I like, basically abusing myself?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I love that you made that choice, and I love that you talk to yourself. That's a book that I read by Shad Helmstetter, Dr. Shad Helmstetter, What to Say When We Talk to Ourselves. And it talks about how too many of us, we listen to ourselves too much and we don't speak to ourselves enough. So it's really cool that you were able to say, Anna, why are you doing this? Make a different decision. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's important because when you talk to yourself, you're sort of programming your mind, you're programming yourself to do a certain thing, things that, you want yourself to do,
Hmm.
or you want the way you want to feel. So it's important to talk to yourself.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I talk to myself very often.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And I
People,
think it's
yeah.
I think it's cool to talk to myself.
Yeah, yeah. So many people have done it, throughout history. I've heard like Albert Einstein talk to himself. A lot of, the greats, like great thinkers, they constantly were having conversations and dialogue with themselves because, everywhere we go, there we are. We can't escape ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
so we might as well be a friend to ourselves and talk to
Hmm.
ourselves and see how we're doing, check on ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you are you still operating your online business?
I am, yes.
How's it
What is that?
going?
Um,
Oh, is that was that wine you just flashed up?
no, do you
Wow.
you know what is
Kombucha?
that? Yes,
Kombucha? Ah,
yes.
of course. Kombucha, I know it. I see you over
I
there
was
indulging.
wondering if you're gonna remember my favorite
Yes.
drink
Yes,
or not.
kombucha. I remember. Yeah, you. So how is the
Operating
business going?
the business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm honest.
Okay.
You know what? This month, I really had to take a break
Mm-hmm.
from all this noise
Mm-hmm.
because when you in this too much noise, there is so many things you want to do, so many things going on, and it's hard to understand yourself.
Yeah.
What is you really here for? Is it
Right.
are you doing the right thing, or are you enjoying what you're doing? Or maybe there is a little different subject that you should do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I stepped back because for the whole month, I wasn't really active on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And my business, of course, slowed down too. Because lately I wasn't liking what I'm doing.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't know why. So I took time to understand why.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that in whole I don't like what I'm doing. I do. But there was something I was doing wrong and I couldn't understand why.
Wow.
So this time really helped me to understand what and how I should do. And sometimes when you don't take time to step back and like kind of reset your mind, you can get lost like in yourself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You don't even know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to step back to understand who I am. And because when you're doing something wrong, you're losing your personality. If you're doing something of not exactly of your own, you're losing this authenticity.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that.
Right. Right.
But
Wow.
now I know. But now I know what I want and how
Yeah.
I want and how I'm gonna do it and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm. So you've realigned yourself with purpose. You've realigned.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm. So what
yes.
is it now, Anna? What did you discover that you want to do?
Okay. You wanna know, right? Okay. Wow. Now you doing some digging, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me
Yes.
have some kombucha.
Oh, okay. Just taking a sip, yeah.
Mm, it's really hot in here. I don't
Oh.
know. My husband should put air conditioner.
It's hot over here too. We just made it to California. We've been on a road trip, so it's a little steamy in here as well, but we're with you.
Who's singing hearts there? Is who is watching us? I want to know.
Oh yeah, it's a couple of people in here now. They come in and out, but we have Risen in the chat. Thank you joining. Um, King, thank you for joining. Aaron, thank you for joining. Rachel, thank you for joining. Tuche, thank you for joining. Uncle Pee Wee, thank you for joining. Walt, brother, thank you for joining. And Matt, thank you. Thank you for being here. So yeah, awesome. And anybody else on the replay who's watching this, thank you as well. Thank you.
Guys, thank you for joining. Woo, I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, you were about to say, because I love what you said, how you had to take a step back, you had to reassess, reaffirm and realign with what you were really here to do, to feel purposeful. Because I definitely know how that feels to be connected to something that you don't feel a connection with anymore, and somehow, you just kind of like, wait a minute, what am I doing here again, and had to take a step back. So what did you find out?
Okay. I'm a network marketer, affiliate marketer,
Hmm.
and I wasn't exactly liking the strategy I'm using. That's what I realized.
Hmm.
So I said to myself, okay, but you really want to do that, but what you don't like, it took me like a lot of brain digging to understand. Because I am a creator. I am not exactly a salesperson. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to like go after people and offer them, can you buy this? This is good.
Right.
I can't
Hmm.
do that. And it was killing me.
Hmm.
At the same time,
Hmm.
I wanted to be a network marketer and I want to be an affiliate marketer, but I didn't want to do like the sales this type of way.
Hmm. Right. Hmm.
And I like design. I like, well, I'm in a health care market
Hmm.
niche, healthcare niche. So skincare, like makeup. And then I said to myself, you know what? You do like skincare, makeup. That's what you do every day.
Hmm.
Then why not combine everything? And
Yeah.
enjoy what you're doing, and at the
Exactly.
same time you do your business,
Hmm.
but in a joyful way.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna do my YouTube skincare and makeup channel.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. All right, Anna. Wonderful. Wonderful.
I like to take pictures of my look and post
Hmm.
it on Instagram.
Hmm.
And I wasn't doing that because I was like, okay, I'm an affiliate marketer, network marketer, what I'm gonna put makeup and all that stuff. That was not aligned, like you said.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
not aligned.
Hmm. Yeah.
But that's what I'm gonna do. And
Hmm.
there is in my products, they skincare products
Hmm.
and internal supplements. So why not do what I love the
Right.
way I love,
Right. Right.
and just
Exactly.
be myself.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, just being yourself is like it's so powerful. And a lot of us miss that, what you just said. And thank you, by the way. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for sharing that. I really do appreciate you sharing that with me and us. And like it's just so important. You know, an original is always going to be worth way more than a copy. And just being yourself, you know, is going to shine through to anything that you do, to any products that you're a part of and connected to. You know, your energy that's passion filled, you just touching that, having your hands on that, is going to transfer to the next person. I do believe that. And they say that, you know, when you make your passion your purpose, it will one day become your profession. And it's like when we find that thing that we are finally, you know, connected to, we it doesn't feel like work. It can be so easy. And I just love how you were able to integrate that and say, you know what, this is what I like to do. Why don't I just do this? You know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Hmm. Awesome. What a revelation. What a revelation that you came to, you know? Yeah. So does it feel less of a or you feel excited now? It's less of a struggle to try and make things happen. Now it's just gonna be like more effortless, right?
Yes, I feel because I do love skincare. I've been doing skincare like from age 12, collecting herbs and making all different kind of facial masks.
Hmm.
So I always love that, and I love makeup, and I love design. I love branding. I come to, like, I couldn't make myself. I learned so much about marketing,
Hmm.
how to build your group, and what's more affiliate marketing, network marketing, all
Hmm.
this. I couldn't make myself to talk about.
Mm,
I
yeah,
couldn't. I
I ran
couldn't.
into the
It's
same thing. Yeah. Hmm.
it's not like
Hmm.
I didn't know, but your mouth doesn't want to speak about.
Right. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
what I understand, that out of all this, what I can talk about is about branding, because
Mm.
branding is more closer to me.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Brand identity, but not about affiliate marketing,
Hmm.
and sometimes you don't know all these things.
Right. Right. Hmm. Yep. You're right. You know, going through it, it's hard to see the whole picture when we're stuck inside the frame. You know, it's
Yes.
hard to see everything. But going through that test, now you have a testimony for other people who might be coming up and share the same experience as you did. And I think it's really important to find that, whatever that is for each one of us, because you know they say that when your greatest gladness meets one of the world's greatest needs, like that's when you found your vocation, you found your calling. When something that you love doing, your greatest gladness, meets something in the world that people need, you know, you found it, you know?
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. So, this year turned out to be even more exciting, huh?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Hmm.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
because, like, about a year ago, not even a year ago, like, I took from one funnel away challenge in
Hmm.
August. So after
Hmm.
that, I start being active on social media, and
Right.
before that, I didn't know I am gonna have this life, I'm gonna have all this.
Hmm.
I had no idea. And I was so cooped up in the house and all the things that I was doing, cleaning, cooking, and I was sick of it.
Mm. Hmm.
It's not that I was sick of taking care of my family, but I was sick of not doing nothing else.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
knew there is I have this fire in me that wants to come out, but
Right.
where?
Hmm.
I
Right.
couldn't like just go and find a job or start college education. You know a little bit
Hmm.
my story. I
Yeah.
come from Russia. I'm an immigrant from Russia.
Hmm.
I had a hard time to getting my legal status over here.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
for me, it was not easy.
Yeah.
College and job and all that.
Hmm.
I basically all this time was depending on my husband.
Hmm. And people who are viewing, like, they don't realize how far you've come, in just a year's time, because I watched you evolve. What you're doing right now wasn't something that you would have done, years ago, right?
No.
Like, this is completely, a new Anna, Anna
Yeah.
Tsoy 2.0, 2.0, right?
Yes.
You've got
Yes.
so many new features and upgrades, from when I saw you and when we both, took the live challenge, going live every day, and we seen each other grow. So
Yeah.
it's been magnificent to watch you, you just
Thank
evolve
you.
in that way. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So awesome, awesome. So I'm happy for you. I salute you in your journey, and I know that bigger things are around the corner for you, around just beyond the horizon. And it's just happy to see you smiling. It's happy to see you, enjoying what you're doing, and to feel connected to something, because I know what that feels like to be disconnected, and I know what it feels like to be reconnected, and it's a wonderful feeling. Yeah.
Jerome,
Yeah.
how about you tell me a little bit what's going on in your life now, huh?
Well, we're currently on a road trip. So we went from Texas, we went to Marfa, we went to different national parks, Big Bend, Texas, Big Bend National Park. We went through, oh, as you sip your kombucha, I love it. You so, you slick. Smooth, smooth at it. So, and then we went through Deming, New Mexico, and now we are in California. We're gonna hit some beaches. We're gonna go to the sequoia trees up there. We're gonna go to Utah, and then we're gonna come down through Colorado and go back to Texas. Yeah.
Wow,
So big old road trip. Hmm.
that's called life.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Can
would
you
love
remember?
to do that. I would love to do that. Just,
Have you taken
travel.
one? Yeah. Around the
No,
no.
no, but I would love to, like,
Hmm.
like that. Road, not nothing.
Hmm.
Like under the tree.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, it's amazing. One day I was just sitting in a parking lot in the library, and it just an epiphany came to me. Just this sudden realization of, man, I wish I could go and, like, go hiking or go do this or go do that. Like, man, I wish I could just live a lifestyle where I could just go do this. And then something in my mind said, well, Jerome, like, go do that. Like, what's stopping you from doing what you want to do? And I had to, the same realization you had about choice. I had to realize, like, oh, wow, like, I'm the only one stopping me from doing these things. And then I just went and did it. And it was such a freeing moment. It was like, just go now, just do it today. Stop waiting for
Yeah.
someday, stop waiting for that day that doesn't exist. And I went in, I just started doing things, just regardless. And so, yeah, that was just such a freeing feeling. Hmm.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thanks for asking.
I see, your stories here and there with friends.
Hmm.
That's your friends, or you meet them not long ago, or they're
Yeah.
always been your friends?
Yeah. Usually, if anybody's on my story, I'm usually, either acquainted with them in some way. But yeah, it's been my friend. It's been me and Marco here. He's out there playing the flute or something right now. So we've just been riding around. Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's nice.
Something I love about you, Anna, is that you've every time we've interacted, even in this virtual form through social media, you're very pensive, you're very thoughtful, and you're very patient. You're not too um what do you call it? Like your pace. The pace here in California is very fast, but you seem very calm, very at peace, and very comfortable with going at your pace, and you don't allow people to dictate that pace that you go at. How have you developed that in your life? Has it been through your meditation or something else?
Um, hmm, nah.
Where did that come
Mm.
from?
I guess this comes from way, way back from I don't know,
Hmm.
when I was a teenager.
Okay.
Just back in Russia,
Uh-huh.
my life wasn't so bubbly and nice like over here. I can compare.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you just, I'm not ready to like spill the whole tea right
Oh,
now.
oh, okay. Did we?
But
Okay, uncharted territory here.
but
Yeah.
you know exactly. But I'm not ready. But
Hmm.
I learned that when I was a teenager that you have to. That's interesting question. I never thought of that. Because I know I
Hmm.
always I like to like feel the person who I'm talking
Hmm.
to hear the person, to understand, like you said, what is his space like, and kind of like you kind of align yourself with the person and person align with yourself, but
Mm.
in a way that it's comfortable for both.
So like a dance.
I can't say maybe like that. I don't know. I never thought of that. But that's interesting you said that. And you know what? That's pretty cool you said that. I like that. Yeah.
I guess I got points for being a okay interviewer.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got not points from this time. You know what? I last interview, not when I interview you, when you interview me, I
Yes.
noticed that you are, what you do. Like a lot of people, when they interview
Hmm.
you, they care about what they gonna say next and
Mm,
not
okay.
how the person feel. Look, you trying to understand how
Hmm.
I feel. You're trying to make me feel comfortable.
Hmm.
You're not trying to make it like about you interviewing me. It's
Right.
you making it's about person who you interview,
Hmm.
and I can feel that, and that's very important. And I think it's a talent because I have seen many interviews, you
Mm.
know
Hmm.
and only few people do that.
Mm.
A lot of times people overtalk each other and they not making about the person who they interview. They want to show off how they interview, you know what I
Right.
mean?
I know. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
But what I like in I don't want to be like right now. I don't want to be about me. I want to be this like a friend conversation, like
Hmm.
so it be aligned.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why every time like we collaborate, you remember we had host authenticity has no competition together,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I always enjoy do or interview or host a show with you. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It feels smooth, feels like no tense, like relaxed. Like,
Right. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
remember we won the disc, you and me?
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah. The disc
That was so
assessment.
cool.
Yep. I remember. I remember. Hmm.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that was interesting because, learning behavioral traits and learning what makes you tick and why you are the way you are, and that it's okay to be that way. You know that you have strengths and you might have areas of growth or areas that you're not as strong in, but that's okay. And so learning that there are so many ways in which each of us human beings are unique, um,
Yeah.
is just really, it was really cool to go through that. Yeah. Hmm. So you kind of answered the question, but then you left it on a cliffhanger. That's okay.
Oh,
We'll
let's
leave.
come back.
Well, no, you said you wanted to touch on that another day. You wanted to leave that. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. For this,
It's
I'm not
it's
ready
okay.
yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the? You said that you really would love to go traveling. Like we've been camping and we've been doing a lot of backwoods stuff. Where has there been a time before when you didn't say you went on a road trip like this? Never? No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. But
No.
you've thought about traveling?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
when do you think you might take that leap or take that journey?
Hmm. I'm planning.
Yeah.
I'm planning.
Okay. Yeah. Yes,
The
yes.
sooner the better.
Right, right.
The
To be.
soonest it's affordable,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Taking off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Mm-hmm.
can't just, if it would be just me, I can travel.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I have family, and
Right.
I can, take
Right.
child just
Mm-hmm.
like that
Mm-hmm.
and be
Yeah.
tired and all that stuff. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
be comfortable.
Right. Right. Of course. Of course. What is Anna, what is a quote that you like to live by? Or just something, some words of encouragement that you just keep in your mind?
Okay. Well, there is a lot, but let's see. Um,
Something that keeps you going or gets you going.
well, don't leave something for tomorrow if you can do today. Yeah, because I hate if I know I gotta do something and just
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm gonna do tomorrow. It's just gonna like itch over here. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna bother me
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow. But right now you're doing nothing. Why not do now?
Right
Like
now.
do it right now.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do forget that, but most of the time, I do remember that quote, and so
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's very key. I was reading a book called The Tao Te Ching that was talking about that. And it was talking about how time is a created thing, that whenever we say we don't have time for something, it's almost like we're saying, I just don't want to. And that's why I love that you make the time. Just this right now, being able to interact with you in this way is a blessing because you created that time. Like the time
mhm.
didn't just fall in your lap somewhere, just like, oh, here's the time. No, you didn't just find it. You made it. You created the time. So thank you for making the time. But that is a wonderful quote that you put. Don't put off till tomorrow. Um, almost like don't put off till tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone today. It's like tomorrow doesn't exist either because as soon as we get to tomorrow, another has been made. There's another tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It can be tomorrow, and never
Hmm.
end
Right.
and never get done.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's. I do have a lot of quotes, but right now you ask me, they like all out of my
Hmm.
mind.
Hmm.
Don't know, can't think of
Yeah.
any right
Hmm.
now. But I
Yeah.
do have a little book where I write things like quotes like that.
Hmm. We have someone in the comment section. They said, "Right meow, right meow. You can travel in meditation." Oh wow! Thank y'all for joining. Yeah. So I that's a. that just makes me think sometimes too, because there's been times in the past, Anna, where I put a lot of things off till the future, till someday. And guess who texted me, or guess who sent me some messages recently?
Who?
Mr. Ron Carter.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes. He sent me a wonderful message, and he was telling me basically the same thing you did about how he had to take a step back and realign to his purpose, and how he had to stop putting off that day where he would finally quit his job and finally do this and finally get to do that. And he said, "No, I'm just going to do it now." You know,
Did he quit?
yeah, he said he
Oh
got out
my
of the,
gosh, he did.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
He took the step, he took the leap of faith.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was yeah, it was very emotional. It was awesome. But yeah, more and more people are kind of rising up to that, you know, and saying to themselves that, you know what, I'm not gonna wait for someday. I'm gonna make it today, you know. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yes. Yes, because till you start doing, the idea always can be there till you start taking action. Otherwise, it's gonna be idea all the time. You
Hmm.
need to start
Hmm.
acting.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, action creates the manifestation, you know?
Hmm.
And that's what I've been learning too, is like in the yin and yang with Eastern philosophy, the yin would be considered that feminine energy, or allowing, the energy of allowing, of, you know, but then the yang is the masculine energy of manifestation or action or doing something. But in order for the manifestation, you have to allow. So it's like they say, you know the male but keep to the female, you know, stay in that state of allowance, stay in that state of receiving, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So awesome, awesome, awesome. We're You always surprise me, because when I'm talking to you, I never know if you're gonna ask me something. You
I may.
like you always have something up your sleeve.
I may.
Hmm. But I just appreciate your time. You know, you see me, I'm sweating over here. It's hot. I'm just enjoying the day. Yeah.
I'm really happy you asked me for the interview. Thank you for
Hmm.
that.
Of course.
That
Of course.
made me excited. Made
Hmm.
me like sort of, because I was kind of ready already. I understood what I'm gonna do, and now I need to get back on social
Hmm.
media. So let's say this going sort of a coming back. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. You know, there's a time for everything, right? You know, there's a time for inhalation, exhalation. There's a time for, going in, and then there's a time for taking a step back. And it's cool that you appreciate yourself and you love yourself enough to know the difference, to know when it's time, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I met you on a Facebook, right?
Of course.
And for a while you were on a Facebook, and now you're on Instagram. Tell me, what's
Yeah.
the difference? What
What's
you
the
like? What?
difference?
Yes. How do you feel? Why you left Facebook? Why you start on Instagram? The difference. I want to know.
Okay. Oh, okay. Where's my kombucha? I need to take a sip.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, cheers.
yeah, I was on Facebook for a while, and I ran into the exact same thing that you did, which is ironic. I was speaking about these things that to a certain degree, I did feel passionate about, because I love helping people. I love inspiring people. I love motivating people, because I myself am inspired and motivated by others, so I like to be sort of like find my place in it all, to be able to be that person to someone else, because I've had that person for me. And so I was doing that, in the group, and I was doing that in other groups and multiple groups and all these groups. And it's like, it became kind of like, oh man, it was like, wait, when am I gonna do the things that I said I was gonna do, to move my needle forward in the things that I was doing. So that's why I kind of had to take my own step back. And when I came to Instagram, it was just the perfect place to just kind of live my life and inspire people. And I just ended up, yeah, just meeting people all over. I wrote down manifestations in a notebook that I would travel to different countries and inspire people all around the world. And all of a sudden, I just started meeting people from all around the world. Like I just kept meeting people over and over, just from all these different countries and continents. So that's kind of why I stayed on Instagram, because it was just wonderful interacting with different people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so different. I explore right now and before Instagram and YouTube and Facebook.
Hmm.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And there is Facebook, you feel like, how I felt? Like in a train with a lot of people just
Yeah.
pushing each other. That's
Right.
how I felt.
Hmm. Yes.
And
Yeah.
everyone trying to get that spot.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I remember you went fasting, you remember?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
And
saw, I saw you getting. Now
I'm
you back
fasting
to
right now.
normal.
I'm
You
still
are?
fasting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm fasting. I've been on liquid for the past 5 days. For the month of May, I was on liquid for 3 weeks. And so now I'm continuing till the 20th. So I won't be having anything solid till I get back. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It's been interesting. You wouldn't tell though. If I hadn't said anything, you wouldn't been able to tell.
No,
Hmm.
no.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
So the body gets used to it. It can adjust to anything. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
what's the purpose for that?
Yeah. So glad that you asked. You're such you're like Anna King. Um, okay. You know, more energy. You sleep less, you have more energy. Detoxing the body, getting rid of all the toxins in the body. Over the years, I just know that there's been a buildup in the colon, in the large and small intestine of things that I've just never been able to see. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm seeing more and more pictures of my friends sending me things like mucoid plaque, which some people don't think exist, parasites that just live in whole microbiomes in the body and they just thrive off of this stuff. And so I'm on a mission to get these things out of my body, to let go and shed what's not me, so that I can get back to who I really am. If I have this
Mm-hmm.
energy now, imagine how much energy and how much I'll be able to give when I'm like shedding, when I get rid of all the stuff that's like eating me, all the stuff that's just feeding on me. And I was never aware of this, even before I stopped eating meat, even before I went to liquids, even when I just went lighter and lighter. I had no idea that I was being prepared for days like this. So that's why I kind of continue on the journey. And I've got friends that are juicing as well, and they're doing the same. Yeah.
So, was your first step? Like how you started? Because
Yeah.
maybe it's dangerous, can be. You can just all of a sudden stop eating. You have to like prepare
Right.
somehow, right?
Yeah, it can be if you're going into it for the wrong reasons or the wrong way, if you're not really I was called. I definitely feel like I was called to it. I needed a drastic change in my life. I was unfocused. I lacked clarity. I lacked energy. I wasn't doing anything that I said I would do. And when I started fasting, all of those things were remedied. Like every one of those things were corrected. Like I had more energy, more focus, more clarity. Like that's when I joined all those online groups and I was just going, because I was fasting, I was letting go. And sometimes we must let go in order to receive. Sometimes when we're holding on to things, they could be holding us back from our true potential or our biggest potential. So I would say that people, going into it, if you're going into it for a reason like, oh, I want to lose weight, that's
Mm-hmm.
different for somebody who's going into it because I want to feel healthy. Or that's different for somebody who's going into it because I want to, cleanse, or I feel spiritually inclined to something. So, yeah, I would say the way I started was I did a 3-month liquid fast last year. Thought it was only going to be 1 month, but I felt so good that I just kept going. And then I learned about breatharians and liquidarians and people who have been doing these things for years. And they walk and talk among us, and you would never know it. You would never know it. Like the strangest thing, they could just be like, yeah, I haven't eaten for over 2 years now, and you wouldn't believe them. You wouldn't believe them.
So tell me, what is
Yeah.
that? What is the liquid? It's not just water, right?
So the liquid is like, it's like water, juice. I got juice in here, um, and some other forms as well that that we could talk about. But I actually am not ready just yet to talk
Mm,
about
okay.
some of the stuff. But just due to reasons like people kind of yeah, just anyways. But yeah, mainly juice and just yeah, liquid. So.
Because
Mhm.
our body need a certain, calories. How is that works together? Like because for me,
Mhm.
yeah, I know people fasting, but I didn't know they
Mhm.
like can fast for years. I thought
Right.
maybe like 40
Right.
days,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So it
So
makes you
for
wonder.
me,
It makes you
yes,
wonder. It's
yeah.
the same thing that you talk about, Anna, with the subconscious, how the mind is so powerful.
Hmm.
My favorite movie is The Matrix, and in a scene like, Neo gets hurt in The Matrix, and they unplug him, and his mouth is bleeding, and he looks over at Morpheus. He's like, "I thought it wasn't real," and he said, "The mind makes it real." You know, so our minds and the capabilities we have as human beings would astound us. We have only scratched the surface. We have no idea. And so meeting people that have those capabilities at that point, over 1 year, over 2 years, not having anything solid, still walking, talking, functioning just like the regular person. It's not fasting at that point. Now you have switched. The cells in your body are under another government. You have changed the cells in your body to switch. Now you are being nourished by another form of energy. You can switch to being nourished by nature, being nourished by, negative ions, being nourished by the air, the oxygen around us, the breath, um, the sunlight, other forms of nourishment. This conversation is nourishment. This is nourishing for me. I'm enjoying this. I'm getting so much prana and energy from talking to you. And so these are some feel good things that actually give you energy. And I come away from things like this feeling so energized, just like I've taken a shot of coffee or espresso or caffeine. So when you realize that the body just wants energy, and that the brain is like the biggest hogger of energy, it needs like 20% of the body's energy or something like that, then when you find out that you don't have to derive all of your energy from food, then where else is that energy coming from? And when you find that out, that's when it gets interesting. Hmm.
Let me ask you, have
Yes.
you ever read book Sefer Yetzirah?
Say it again.
Sefer Yetzirah. It's Hebrew. It's in Hebrew, like our first book. This is,
No.
you know about Kabbalah?
I know about the Kabbalion. I have not read the Kabbalah.
Because that's what you explaining to me right now
Okay.
about energy and
Yeah.
switching.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says in
Oh.
Sefer Yetzirah and
Mm-hmm.
Kabbalah. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's very interesting. I didn't. That's different. That's
Mm-hmm.
some people wouldn't understand. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to understand.
Right.
It's you can explain with words what's Kabbalah. It's but
Uh-huh.
I learned about Kabbalah.
Okay.
Kabbalah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't continue.
Mm-hmm. So you've already explored this,
So
kind
I
of. Yeah.
explored it a little bit and I
Yeah.
know of possibility. I just don't know
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
and what kind. But I
Right.
know there's many
Mm-hmm.
that we have no idea.
Yes. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, I truly believe that now. Like, I'm even more of a believer from what I've seen and experienced myself. I know that we are only limited by our imagination. Our
Mhm.
imagination is truly the only limit. you know that's really it. Yeah. So yeah, it just every day is new. I'm just continually amazed by what I'm finding out and what I'm discovering. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
Thank you for answering.
You know, I can't resist you.
Well, you resist, you will save some for maybe next time. Or
uh, so yes, you know, I wish you, you know, a wonderful rest of your day with your family. What do you have big plans this week?
this week, well, I do have some plans, but it's not out plans. Like we're doing something in the house, like
Hmm.
some housework, let's say.
Yeah. Hmm.
Nothing special, you know. I do have my plans,
Hmm.
my online business, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. So,
But
and this, yeah, this is a wonderful time too, because you know, since COVID, like everybody's online, you know, yeah, everybody.
yeah, there's nowhere to go, right? Only
Right, right,
online.
exactly. Yep. Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
how many days till your vacation is over? Not vacation, but
Hmm.
you coming back?
I feel like I'm on a constant vacation. You know,
Okay.
I didn't even plan to be here. It wasn't in my plans to be back in California already. But my friend called me and he was like, "Hey, you want to ride with me?" And I was like, "Sure." So that's why I've been going. But I feel like I'm on an all the time vacation. I just with what me and you have been afforded to do, which is be able to work online, you know, we can be like location independent almost. And that was one of the
Yeah.
things I wrote down. So, um, yeah, it's been my wish to be location independent and not have to be in one place. So I'm loving it. You know, I don't know when the vacation will end. I don't
Well,
know.
that's great. Well,
Yeah.
have fun vacation, let it never
Yeah.
end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.